Trinidad and Tobago, the only time they reached the World Cup in 2006, played against England, for whom Steve McLaren was an assistant coach under Sven-Göran Eriksson at the time. It's fair to say they have plenty of history, those two. We are going to see some changes shortly. I think there's activity down on the touchline at the moment. Just a bit too much on that for Gilbert. Couple of changes being readied by Dwight York. Rion Moore is going to come on, and Christian Lee Him as well. Part of a double change by the boss to freshen things up at this juncture. No surprise in that at this stage. Burrell did well. There's Russell. Burrell continued his run. Russell's prodded it into his path. He has Cephas in the middle. And again! And he couldn't make the most of it. Nearly, but not quite. And he had other options as well in there, did Ronaldo Cephas in the end, which Kahim Dixon is pointing out. Look at the space that he was in here initially. Caught in two minds whether to play the pass with back to goal, and certainly Kahim Dixon, I think, made it clear that that would have been his preferred option from there. Went for the back heel instead. It got another go, did Cephas. Nearly, but not quite. Prominent part that he's played. McLaren is readying changes of his own. He's also going to bring on, by the way, Ravel Morrison shortly, who was only called up yesterday, only joined up with the rest of the squad yesterday, having initially been omitted by McLaren. Phillips did well. Kyle Ming is going to be the player coming on shortly for Jamaica, by the way. Both teams are readying a double change. Looks like Daniel Green, who's down there, who's going to come on for McLaren's men shortly. Molino. Peters. Well, there was Gilbert. Still beautifully balanced, isn't it? Molino. We'll get it back from Daniel Phillips here. Kevin Molino, no way through. It's a painful looking collision as well. Decisive Hayden looks like he's come off the worst. He's the one that stayed down. Molino now getting back to his feet again. But to Hayden flat on the floor. Came across to try and get to that first, did Isaac Hayden. It's come at some personal cost, so whilst he receives some treatment, they will take the chance to make the changes. And the goal scorer coming off for Trinidad and Tobago, Isaiah Leacock, scorer on his first cap, is going to be replaced here. And Daniel Phillips making way as well. So Rion Moore is into the action, and so too Christian Lee Him. His first call-up since November of 2023. He will take the place of Phillips in midfield. And Moore will go up top. First call-up since September of last year. Jamaica just holding off on their changes. They'll try and defend this free kick first before summoning their substitutes. There's the confirmation of the Trinidad and Tobago changes. Sardines may well fancy this. He is something of a set-piece specialist. We've seen that already on his international debut. Well, it's made a big impression thus far. A lot of organising for Davis to do in goal. He's been a regular backup goalkeeper on the bench over the course of the last year.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Avoiding injuries, easy. Winning, easy. But you know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make me ready. Taste and energy, made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Omadum like to know. Where can one 5 times in here? Eh? Up there. Who are tomato sa? They say a good generator no so. Asa. If you want a wheel, when you go there, it trash is in one.
Oh, and your mokoda kanime.
Abba.
Don't say oh. Get Translight Solar. Keep your loved ones comfortable and your life bright with Translight Solar. Translight Solar, say goodbye to Doomsaw and hello to reliable power.
He's had a lot of time to think about it. Here he comes then, Cardines. Brilliant effort, so unlucky but in. And Trinidad and Tobago are back on terms. Kevin Molino following up to score. 2-2. The skipper scores for the Soca Warriors. He was the one in the right place to profit after that brilliant free kick from Rio Cardines. Davis's luck out in goal. And from 2 behind, TNT back on terms. Hit the post, bounced off the goalkeeper, and then in from Molino for goal number 25 of his distinguished international career. It's an excellently struck free kick. It took the wall out of the equation despite the positioning of it. When it hit the goalkeeper, it could have gone anywhere really, it could have gone in, but instead it fell favourably for Molino. So all square. And Jamaica have made those changes in the immediate aftermath of the goal. Daniel Green and Ravel Morrison are on, but they are into a very different situation now. Set about trying to re-establish their lead. Here goes Green, his first involvement. There's another of the Mount Pleasant players that suffered that penalty disappointment in the domestic Premier League playoff final at the weekend. Started a 1-1 draw against Trinidad and Tobago in February on his last cap. He's on for his 7th appearance in his country's colours. Casey Palmer has made way for Ravel Morrison, and that's quite some story. Morrison's return, having initially been excluded by Steve McLaren, who said he couldn't pick him because he couldn't watch him. Morrison currently plays in the 3rd tier in the United Arab Emirates, and not even available to watch on video, said McLaren. But he had a bit of a change of heart yesterday when Morrison was summoned to the squad, and is winning his first cap for over 2 years tonight. Two goal scorers making way for Jamaica in those changes, and now they need to find another one to re-establish their advantage. Alvin Jones is down. challenge on it by the substitute Daniel Green. Quite up to speed, it's cost him a caution. Going to be okay to continue is Alvin Jones here. Well, he's retreated from the touchline again. There's Steve McLaren. The side were in charge, but no more. It's crucial, I think, wasn't it, that Trinidad and Tobago got one back as quickly as they did, having gone two behind, because it has provided them with this platform to push on to parity. Who knows how this is going to end up? As I say, if it is level after 90 minutes, we go to a penalty shootout. The last meeting between them did end all square, 1-1 in Kingston in February. Extending Jamaica's unbeaten run to 6 matches in this fixture. That has been contested 72 times previously between these rival islands. Now Cephas opens up for Jamaica. Goalkeeper can't hold it. Morrison trying to follow up, just unable to force it in. Almost an instant impact from the returning Ravel Morrison, and relief for Marvin Phillip, who made the initial save but seen it run loose again. That had already proved costly once in this second half. To make the stop from Cephas. Credit as well Alvin Jones, who got across to make it more difficult for Morrison than it might have been. But Jamaica so close to re-establishing their advantage. There's a player, Morrison, that Steve McLaren has worked with previously at Derby County, knows what he can do, the quality that he has. But he didn't know whether he was in the sort of condition to be able to make a difference in international football at the moment, given the level that he's playing at in Dubai. The 14th different club of his career. That began, of course, so promisingly at Manchester United. Jones looking for options, floats it forward. A little too far in front of Christian Lee Him. He's back in the national setup for the first time since November of 2023. His 7th cap. Swedish-based player is Christian Lee Him with the Syrianska club. As John York said, there are so many players he's still really getting to know and wants to have a look at. He comes into that category clearly. Ravel Morrison, who was without a club for a good while after leaving DC United. He followed Wayne Rooney there from Derby County. Never quite really been able to find a home at club level. Isaac Hayden to Mason Holgate. Closing quarter of an hour now of the 90. Games ahead for Jamaica as well. When they're opening 2 World Cup qualifiers in the second round in Group E. They certainly want to win this one. They thought they'd put themselves in a position to do so. Now they're having to do it all over again. Mason Holgate's effort there deflects behind for the corner. It's only a 4th cap for their number 4. We're going to see a triple change very shortly from Trinidad and Tobago. They will wait until after this corner, which is taken quickly and short. Morrison sending one up for Isaac Hayden. What was by Jack. Another corner to come on the other side. Richard King forward from centre back. played short into his feet. Plenty to aim for in the middle. No free kick given on the edge of the area. They're not too much really by way of the Jamaican protest either. And some Holgate up from the back. So the changes will happen here for Trinidad and Tobago. Jovin Jones is going to come on. He's the most experienced in the squad. Kevin Molino making way, having got his goal, played his part. Squared it up at 2-2. Jovin Jones really can play anywhere. Two-time MLS Cup winner with the Seattle Sounders back in the days. But playing in Trinidad and Tobago with the Police FC club. 6th all-time in their list of appearance makers now. So on is Justin Garcia, with Dante Gilbert making way. And Garcia is a defensive player. And the final change sees John Paul Rochford introduced as well. Cap number 15 for him. He also started against Jamaica in February. Peter's the other player making way. So Garcia will replace him at the back. Rochford, who's capable of the spectacular, will take the place of Gilbert. And Jones for Molino. So the two brothers on the pitch at the same time, Jovin and Alvin, as they often are for the Soca Warriors. Greg Lee of Oxford United is going to be summoned shortly by Steve McLaren. Once of Oxford United himself, of course. Another change is imminent. He's receiving his instructions there. The left back scored 6 goals actually in the Championship season for Oxford, including against Swansea on the final day of the season earlier this month. He had missed Jamaica's last 4 internationals, but is back today. Morrison. Just going to skip away from Limbakisa, but it was an excellent ball, wasn't it, in his direction. Morrison trying to bring that quality to midfield. Limbakisa had made the run for him. I think the change is going to happen here. It will be a 24th cap for Greg Lee tonight. Member of the English-based contingent coming on. Might mean a little bit of a reshuffle because it's Kaheem Dixon over on the far side of the field there that has been replaced. He is capable of playing further forward. You would suspect a reshuffle as a result of that change. Coming up to 5 years since his debut for the national team for Greg Lee. He did play at the Copa America for them last year. First cap though since November. Daniel Green was able to reach it. Kisa was looking for Holgate, who was a little fortunate that it did end up dropping in his direction, and then he was dispossessed unfairly. So free kick and a yellow card as well for the challenge on him. Leon Moore found himself the wrong side, and a bit of a tangle did Moore, so he's gone into the book as well, the Trinidad and Tobago substitute. Dixon's part is played. The reception he got from the fans as he made his way around the perimeter of the pitch. Jamaica trying to keep the pressure on here. Referee has stepped in though. Because Jamal Jack is down with a suspicion of a head injury. taken one centre-back off, and now they have an issue over another. Do have Sheldon Pato on the bench, by the way. He's been recalled for the first time this year. I hope that it's a change that they'd have to make, but he will have to pass all the protocols to be able to continue, will Jack. And a decent game back there. And that is still very much in the balance, that could be heading to the penalty shootout potentially. This is how he was hurt. Lee's ball in. Challenge came in on Jamal Jack by Mason Holgate. They've only had eyes for the ball. Good to see him pretty swiftly back on his feet again. Applause as well from the Jamaican fans in the spirit of the Unity Cup. They really have served a spectacle, these two sides, in the opening fixture of the competition. Tickets first went on sale back in April. There have been plenty packing the G-Tech, as they will tomorrow and certainly on Saturday, when all four nations are in action in that double-header. Third place playoff followed by the final, and we're still no nearer knowing which of these Caribbean nations will be representing the region in that final. There's Morrison, it's a clever ball, volleyed forward. First time in the direction of Cephas. He's now playing more centrally. Has been for much of the second half. He's maybe had the best chance to put them back in front after the 2-goal lead was lost. Russell. Wide for Green. Back with John Russell. Mason Holgate. Jones, just enough on that for Marvin Phillip. He almost sold the goalkeeper a little short, but Phillip reacted well. That's an excellent ball, and it opens up here for Trinidad and Tobago, maybe to go in front for the first time. Big save from Davis, still the chance for Cardines and wide. Close but not close enough for Trinidad and Tobago, who almost turned this around in its entirety. That's the ball that did the damage, really. John Paul Rochford with the initial shot that brought the save, and then Cardines over the top. Well, close on more than one occasion, Cardines. Rochford deserves real credit. He made the run. It was a brilliant ball that picked him out. He called Shekan Davis into action. Lee forward up the other end here towards Amari Bell. Furthest forward we've seen him. What a frantic final 5 of the 90 we could yet still have in store here. It's exactly the sort of competitive contest that they would have hoped it would be. This will certainly aid their preparations for the competitive commitments to come over the course of the summer. It's Greg Lee that played it forward here, and Alvin Jones just stretching himself and then hurt a little bit maybe on landing as well. And it goes from the throw. Hasn't been dealt with yet. Lee's in there, big stop! Wonderful save from Marvin Phillip to keep Trinidad and Tobago on terms. He met it well, did Greg Lee. He hasn't been on long. Might have thought he was going to be cast in the role of match winner there, and would have been perhaps, but for the flying frame of Phillip. the 40-year-old goalkeeper, with his reactions as razor sharp as ever. Goalkeeper has been to 5 different Gold Cups with Trinidad and Tobago. He debuted for them back in 2007 when he won the first of now 92 caps. They're based back home in Port of Spain these days. Wasn't necessarily expecting to start. He's not been the regular recently. Denzel Smith had played 7 of the previous 10. Andre Raymond only now is getting back to his feet again after that little stoppage. This is going to extend the drama yet further beyond the 90-minute mark as well, before we even get potentially to penalties. But what a save from Marvin Phillip. Some domestic titles as a cricketer as well back in the day. Wonderful reactions from him. But more work potentially to do from the corner. Ravel Morrison waiting to take it for Jamaica. Goes from Morrison into a threatening area, cleared out as far as Daniel Green here, and that pass wasn't as precise as it needed to be, and it could spell trouble. Actually, here comes the counter maybe. Just couldn't quite keep his feet initially, Jovin Jones, and well, the chance that was looming had gone. Still maybe make something of it. There will be a free kick to follow. But it was that slotted it through to Jovin Jones. Hayden got back to him. Cap number 95 for Jones tonight. Equalize Cup winner with Seattle in 2016 and 2019. Won this free kick, he's the one that is going to take it. And you could certainly see what he was trying with it. But Jamal Jack up from the back, just unable to get the touch required. Didn't miss the top of his head by much, did it? And neither side settling for a shootout. They both think that they can go on and win this maybe in the last of the 90 minutes. Rion Moore. Here's Powder. Jovin Jones, back to his brother Alvin Jones. Oh, it was late. Jovin Jones, nowhere near the ball. The yellow card is out straight away for the player that has taken over the armband after replacing Kevin Molino. And he's gone into the book as well here. Mason Holgate was clearly in front of him, and well, the referee was right there as well. He almost took Sarrett out with that as well. Indisputable caution. Tense times on the touchline as we head into what will be 5 additional minutes. 5 minutes for either side to find a winner before the possible penalty shootout. Maybe the probable penalty shootout. Sifas brings that down. He stayed down. Lembakisa. Bounced up and hit him on the arm there, didn't it? Next to Lembakisa, right in front of the assistant referee. They've been richly entertained. Still the outcome in the balance. First game in London for Jamaica since the summer of 2014, over a decade ago, since they drew with Egypt at Brisbane Road. That one finished 2-2. There has to be a winner tonight. Is that going to fall? Making the way of Moore. Seeing one up for Jovi.
Tell you what's up, no good done. You're a fool, I cry about Charlie. I tell you what's up, enjoy the ride.
Links reverb. No, that's clearing.
And really, that top corner is cut in on the right foot. Charging forward, flipping it through. Cephas reaching it just ahead of the goalkeeper, and penalty given. He was a fraction late, Marvin Phillip there, and Ronaldo Cephas has won his second penalty of the game, which might ensure that a penalty shootout is not required after all. Real drama right at the end, midway through stoppage time. He did brilliantly to get on the end of it, to get there first. Well, it slipped it through to him. Got in front of Justin Garcia. Marvin Phillip had to come. There was no margin for error as he flung himself at the feet of Ronaldo Cephas. And referee Barrett has pointed to the penalty spot for the second time in the game. Well, Phillip was beaten by a Panenka from Casey Palmer in the first half. Palmer long since substituted, so it's going to fall instead to Richard King, I think, here to maybe win the game. He scored in the penalty shootout for Cavalier on Friday to win the Premier League title in the playoff final domestically. What he has never done yet is score for Jamaica. It's cap number 23 for the centre-back tonight. He's the one that has the responsibility on his shoulders. Up against Marvin Phillip. Powerful penalty. King finds the top corner, and Jamaica surely have won it after all. Richard King from the spot. The Reggae Boys, the Kings of the Caribbean tonight. Although in the midst of all those celebrations, they will remember that they conceded almost from kick-off when they scored earlier in their second half. But they are almost there. Richard King kept his composure. A wonderful week from the penalty spot it has been for him. A league title just 4 days ago, and now a first international goal. And Marvin Phillip, who conceded it, just couldn't quite keep it out. Two really contrasting penalties we've seen from Jamaica today. The Panenka in the first half, and then the power. The laces through it, into the postage stamp. And Jamaica lead again. They will have what remains of stoppage time to hold on this time, to prove that lessons have been learned from last time. Can Dwight York's team do it again? Trinidad and Tobago will throw everything forward for these final flurries. Because of that, they could be caught out by Cephas again at the other end. He's had quite some game. His priority, though, having reached it, will be to hold on to it this time. Andre Raymond snapping at his heels to try and prevent that. Morrison helping out for Jamaica. A place in the final on Saturday is moments away for the Reggae Boys. Their recent dominance in this fixture against their Caribbean rivals set to continue. It's a game really that could have gone either way. A game that has encapsulated everything that this Unity Cup was designed to be about. They'll just try and hold it up here for as long as they can, and Jamaica have done it. Relief for the Reggae boys at the end as they settle it from the spot in stoppage time. Steve McLaren gets the better of Dwight York. Trinidad and Tobago, who battled back from 2 behind to get themselves level, left heartbroken at the conclusion when Richard King stepped up from the spot. His penalty ensuring that a penalty shootout wasn't required. Marvin Phillip conceded it and then was beaten from the spot for the second time in this semi-final. Casey Palmer had put the Reggae boys in front in the first half. When the lead was doubled by debutant Ramon Burrell, they looked well set for victory. But what spirit showed by Dwight York's team in response. They were straight back in the game when they got one back. They were back on terms when Merlino made it 2-2. And that is the way it stayed until stoppage time. No wonder Steve McLaren is all smiles. His return to management in West London has a happy ending tonight and a final to come at the weekend against Nigeria or Ghana, who will do battle tomorrow for the right to meet the Jamaicans in the final. Trinidad and Tobago will have to settle for the 3rd place playoff. Full time, Jamaica 3, Trinidad and Tobago 2.
90 minutes plus 5 minutes of extra time is what Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica needed to settle this match. What a game it has been. 90 plus 5 minutes of action, and the fans have loved every single bit of it. The fans have been cheering from start to finish. They have been served a sumptuous football meal, something we need to look at, because Trinidad and Tobago may have lost this game, but they are worth the game. And of course, that match for 3rd place will be a cracker, whether it is between the Super Eagles of Nigeria or the Black Stars of Ghana. But 90 minutes of action are up, and there they will do the walk of honor. The fans will appreciate the hard work that these young boys from Jamaica put in. The Reggae boys, they call themselves. And at the end of it all, first goal being scored by Palmer, the second was by Burrell, and then the last from King ensured that 3 goals to the good. It mustered the courage and played against Trinidad and Tobago. What a side they showed. Did not start too well in the very first half, but Trinidad and Tobago came back stronger through Leacock and of course Molino getting 2 goals. It just wasn't enough. An unfortunate last minute penalty separated the men from the boys. But look at the fans. It doesn't really matter which side you are on. The Jamaicans are happy. Trinidad and Tobago have their fans also supporting them loud and clear, which means it's going to be a cracker tomorrow as the West Africans take onto the field to separate themselves. Who is going to win that battle royale? The gentlemen in the studio will take a sneak preview into that. But obviously, we will take a look at the comeback second 45 minutes for Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, Dwight York knows that he's played against his master. He may have lost the game, but certainly not a disgraced side. Full time, and it ends Jamaica 3, Trinidad and Tobago 2. Congratulations to a hard-working Jamaican side. The reggae will flow in the hotels tonight as they rest and take a look at who they might meet in the very final. Will it be the Super Eagles or the Black Stars of Ghana? What a game it has been. And obviously we're all totally elated at the fact that one team won, yes, but we saw total constructive football. Let's do a very quick break. When we come back, we'll share our last thoughts with you.